It's time for Advice Line. Call now at 800-866-8883. That's 800-866-8883. Here's your host, Roy Masters.
Remember that we need 30% more income in order to maintain this program. One station, large station's already lost, KIV, could be next. I don't hear enough from you these days. I'm very sorry, but please, can you help? If you're not supporting the program now, please, it's tax deductible. All your contributions, the funding that you give is tax deductible. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back.
If you appreciate Roy Masters, you can meet up with like-minded people. For more information, please telephone this UK number. It's 01580, or write to Box 4, Leicester in England. I'll repeat that telephone number. That's UK number. It's 01580, or write to Box 4, Leicester, that's Leicester, in England.
Timber Ranch in Southern Oregon. You'll spend 3 days with Roy Masters and others in lighthearted, deeply insightful discussions that may help you take that final step toward personal independence. There'll be plenty of time to relax, hike through the woods, and make new friendships with like-minded people. Comfortable lodging, delicious meals, and good old-fashioned fun are all included. Call now for a no-obligation information packet at 1-800-877-3227.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am promoting today several books. How to Survive Your Parents. It's a book every parent should read, because you have become, in a manner of speaking, no matter how much you try to avoid it, the very thing that you try to avoid. You may not see, you may think you're the opposite, but it's not working, and you'll see why when you read the book and listen to my program. You can call me if you want more elaboration on that point I just made. But How to Survive Your Parents is $15.95. All the books are. How Your Mind Can Keep You Well is $15.95. And How to Control Negative Emotions. These are 3 excellent books that, if you're not ready to sit quietly and do that little process, the meditation exercise, a little discipline, if you're not ready and just want to read about it, you may be a little suspicious. I know you've been had before. Just read about it, and then you'll see there's nothing harmful in here. It just speaks about the mistake, what's wrong. You need to understand and explore what the error is. And I keep saying the same thing over and over again. Every problem you have, psychological, emotional, nearly every problem you have, drinking, alcohol, goes back to one basic thing. But one thing becomes just like the creation of the universe. It's all made out of whatever it is, one thing. You know, the atom and beyond is the small building block of the whole universe, and everything is made out of that one thing. And it's a miracle. But it's also our character, for good or evil. It comes from the same source, the same one thing, one origin. And if that origin is displaced by various temptations and stresses, traumas in our life, we're finished. Call my office, 1-800-877-3227. Would you please call? Business hours, West Coast time. Thank you so much.
Don't forget that UK number. It's 01580, or write to Box 4 in Leicester. And that's if you want to meet up with like-minded people who appreciate, like yourself, Roy Masters.
All right, Jennifer, I'm going to just finish off with you. I'm going to give you some parting words. Are you there?
Yes.
What kind of work do you do, by the way?
I just take care of my 3 kids.
Oh, you're a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
And your income is?
Not much, because my husband doesn't give me any.
Doesn't give you much.
No.
But you manage all right?
Yeah, it just seems like I'm hanging a list.
I'll tell you what. Listen. Hate your husband, hurt your kids. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
So you're going to have to learn to give up resentment towards your husband.
And do what?
It's not your husband, is it?
Huh?
No.
The resentment's not for my husband, you said?
Yeah, I forgot now. You know, I'm getting 71 years old, and I've got my wires crossed.
I'm sorry. We're talking about my husband and I being separated. He was the one that was abusive, and now we're separated.
That's right. I've got my callers mixed up.
That's okay.
Yeah, the husband that's abusive.
Okay, and then we're separated for 18 months.
That's right. Now we got it. Thank you very much.
You're my husband, and you're married to me, and you were to give me sex on, you know.
That's right.
Anyway.
Thank you very much. You know, when I do my commercials,
that's okay.
I tend to forget what the company.
I understand.
All right, so.
And I just feel like I told you though, he started listening to you. I started listening to you, and then after listening to you one day, I started being like, you know what? He has no love for me. Exactly, he doesn't know how to love. Like that's why after listening to your show, I came to that realization.
But you understand. But your point is the relationship you came together with in the beginning didn't have any love in it.
Right, that's what I came to know. You were saying that men were pigs, and this is what your show was at one day.
So you hold your ground. You hold your ground.
Yeah, that's what I feel, and I just feel like.
And you shine like a light. Now listen, I got to let you go because we talked for too long. There's a lot of people waiting.
How?
Look, you shine like a light. You don't resent your husband, and so whatever he demands from you, you're just going to have to say, look, we have to start things new, and you can explain it from a woman's point of view. This is where we went wrong in the very beginning, and then.
And do I let him home and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I don't see a reason why you can't let him into the house, but no sex until certain things are understood. And somewhere way down the line somewhere, not tomorrow, if he says, oh, yes, okay, I agree right away, don't jump into bed right away. He's going to have to learn to hang around and love you, not just need you for sex. See, because once that need is satisfied, he falls away like a satisfied animal. Follow that? See? And so he's going to have to learn to love you for yourself, love your children for themselves. And never mind the sex. That must be withheld. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. If he can't love you for yourself, then the sexual relationship only will make him more selfish. All you do is feeding the selfishness in him, and you'll make him worse. He has to be transformed first. Mm-hmm. All right? Gotta go.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, we're going to talk to Laurie in Santa Cruz. Where are my KIV listeners? Hello, KIV listeners. 1-800-866-8883. These are from all over the country. Honolulu, Philadelphia, Santa Cruz. Hello, Laurie. Hello, yes.
Hi, Roy. What number on the dial is the Monterey station? I think it's KNOY. Or?
I don't know what it is.
Okay. Anyways, I have a question. I have a severe food problem. My weight has gone up and down 50 pounds. But lately I've noticed through the meditation and clarity, like there's this weird dimension that I don't want to face, and like I go into this other door where I escape into this food, and it's somewhere connected between a lot of fear.
That's right.
Something with I was abandoned a lot, and there's this realm that like I'm lost in the woods somewhere in the spiritual realm that I don't want to go to this other door. I just escape via the food.
Yes, you're afraid of reality. That's the. I don't know if you were listening. You've been listening to KMOY for the first hour, and I have been alluding to that state of consciousness that everyone is afraid to face. Mm-hmm. There's a certain shame or guilt. There's a wasted life. There's certain sins, if you like, that a misshapen person for the way we've reacted and lived our lives. And when we come to that door, we start to see this misshapen person. Mm-hmm. And so we're afraid to see ourselves for what we are. But I would suggest you go through that door. Because it's almost like dying. It's almost like dying.
Yeah, it's like I slip through the cracks somewhere, and then I go to either the food or I don't want to see what this...
I can't help you. That's what we call denial. We started to talk about denial in the beginning of the program, and everybody in this world, to some degree, has a certain amount of it. And you may not be in denial when it comes to seeing other people's problems, because you may not be there, but you can't see your own problems. You may say to your children, I don't know what they see in that person. But that's their little paradigm, see, their little world. That's their little comfort zone, and you can see the evil of it, but you can't see your own. But you're beginning to. Food is somehow a way of anesthetizing the consciousness and also giving you a sense of fulfillment, almost like mother's love. Maybe it's like mother's love. Mm-hmm. Mother's love you never got. Mm-hmm. Follow?
Yeah, so you just you want to avoid that and try to get to the other realm.
Yes, you need, what you need is God's love, and all your problems disappear. But if you run away from that entrance, that what you're now afraid of, it's the dark side of you, the part of you that's grown to be what you shouldn't be, the misshapen person. Mm-hmm. See what I mean? The misshapen person, we're all dwarfed. We're all misfits, miscreants. I don't know what words to do, but there's something wrong with the way we've grown up. And that something doesn't want us to come to the light. See, it doesn't want us. The minute you start thinking of it, the minute you start thinking of it seriously, you start being afraid, like you're going to die or something, if you start searching for truth. See? But you've got to cross that border. You've got to cross that border, because otherwise you die. As the scripture says it rather aptly, you die in your sins. You die in this body, in this rotting body. Listen, don't you understand what everybody has their little refuges. Everybody has their little securities so they don't have to see what's wrong with them. Everybody has their entourage of friends or drugs or alcohol or fantasies or their work or whatever it is. Everybody has something to... We must come out of those refuges and face that light as we die there. The whole purpose of life is missed. And food is as much as it's misused, as much as a refuge and a false security for the embryonic, for the sick person, for the mission, just as much as a drug as anything else. It's more so than a drug. As a matter of fact, it's the original drug. The misuse of food, to take refuge in it. You don't have to... But when you take refuge in it, when you get into something, I'll put it in simple terms, when you get into something, food, alcohol, drugs, misusing all those things, get into people, into sex, you get into people, you get into somebody, and something from them gets into you. And that's what grows, and that's what cries out for more of them. And when you get deeper into them, or deeper into the food, or deeper into the alcohol, it's only because you're running from a pursuing conscience. The pain of the conscience is your enemy, and the enemy looks like your friend. It looks the consoling, comforting. See, that's what I started off talking about in the early part of the programming. I said, there's a state of mind which makes enemies look like friends, and friends look like enemies. And it's an emotional state. And it's all those things that comfort you and make you feel, all those creature comforts. See, that makes you feel alive and right, and always right and never wrong, and feel secure. But then after a while, there's something wrong with that security, as big as a house. You need more and more alcohol, and you become more and more unstable and unworthy, and nobody likes you, and you can't hold on to a job, and you get divorced, and your kids, you have problems everywhere. Sooner or later, your securities become insecurities. You understand that?
Yes, I understand everything.
And nobody can fix it until only you can fix it. Only you can be willing to come out of your that little security blanket.
So there is some kind of hope if I'm seeing this dimension already.
Yes, it's a dimension, and this dimension is not evil. It's good.
Oh, but you know that other thing, I tried to do it with will, and then that really backfired.
No, you can't. But you can be. Impossible. But no, you can be willing. Okay. Did I say will?
Right.
I said willing. I didn't say it, but I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
You've got to be willing. The difference, I don't know how to explain it better than that.
Okay.
Willing, it's like, take me, Lord. Take me across this border. I can't do it myself. I'm scared. I'm scared of you. I can see I'm in love with all the wrong things. All the things that make me puff up my ego and tell me all the lies I want to hear. Give me the feelings I want to feel. And give me the life that leads to death. You see it all now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
All right.
Thank you for your help.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Anne is Anne in Honolulu or not? Anne in Honolulu, hello.
Hi, aloha.
Aloha.
I've called a couple of times and spoke with David.
Yes.
And I feel a little frightened by you, Roy, but I thought I wanted to...
a lot of people are frightened by me because...
overcome that. People intimidate me easily, and I want to know how to retain my own personal power.
Well, I've tried to say that all through the program. You get my cassette and find your way to the inner door.
I've called the 800 number, and because I can't pay full price for it...
It doesn't matter. They'll send it to you anyway.
Yeah, I've mailed you a letter asking for it with a check.
That's fine, then. Let that be.
So it's mainly that cassette?
Yes, if you can't do it on your own, if you can't do it just by hearing me speak, then you'll need that little exercise. It's really a meditation. It's an ancient meditation the one that Jesus used, Moses used, whoever, all of the avatars of the past, the great men, whenever they prayed, they went into themselves and experienced God, and that's where they got their strength. And
that's what you mean by being connected to our Creator.
That's right. And when Jesus himself actually brought the divine presence. So, in other words, he brought the connection. Because, you see, we've lived, ever since Adam, no one's ever known God personally. So we've known about him, and we have intuitive, we see our behaviors, we know how to rectify those behaviors. We have sets of laws and rules we call morals. But they're all enforced in a draconian sort of way. We shouldn't need those laws, but because of our fallen state of disbelief and the influence of the world around us since we're children, that is stronger than our own common sense. Even though we have the common sense, we can't exercise it the way we should. The forces are too subtle, too clever, too powerful, and we're too connected to the world. When Jesus came, he had a direct connection to God.
Is there a God?
Yes, there is. And that's why the belief in him, I'm Jewish now, remember that. That's why the belief in him and the belief about him, that he was who he, in those days people could see it.
Isn't it just the spirit of love? It's not.
No, isn't it just the spirit? You're demeaning the spirit of love.
No, I grew up Catholic, and God was out there, and it was a person in the sky and all that.
No, it's not the same thing. Look at me. I'm not talking like that. Look at me. I'm not speaking that way. I'm saying go into yourself and experience it, not just words, as a person, a man up in the sky, but as a living experience. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
And don't forget that phone number if you want to meet up with like-minded people. For more information, please telephone this UK number. It's 01580, or write to Box 4, Leicester, in England.
All right, ladies and gentlemen in KIV land, in Los Angeles, I'm sorry we changed the time, but we had to do it. It was the station required it. Please adjust yourself to this time. Support this program. We need 30% more. Otherwise, this program doesn't last. I've been on this station for 35 years, and it's getting a little difficult. So please support my program with your tax-deductible donations. It's funded by you, and we're not sponsored by anyone. Thank you very much. And Post Office Box 1009, Grants Pass, Oregon 97528. That's all the time I have to tell you what I need so I can supply yours.
For many people, a seminar with Roy Masters can be the catalyst for a profound change in their lives.
It seems like people just go through the world not knowing who they really are. And they get to find out who they really are and what they could be. Because I know we go through all kinds of traumas, and you can kind of like break through the garbage.
It was profoundly meaningful. I'm ready to go back out there again and deal with it all, and in a different way. I mean, I don't know, something here really did change.
For information on our upcoming 4th of July seminar with Roy Masters, call us at 1-800-877-3227.
Yes, this is Roy Masters. I hope my KIV audience was successfully transferred from the 9 to 10 hour to the 10 to 11 hour. It looks pretty sparse right now, but I hope the transfer. 1-800-866-8883. All right, we're going to Doug in Los Angeles. A cell call from KIV. Hello.
Good morning, Roy, and good morning to you, David. And it is tough making that transition to the next hour.
It is, isn't it? I know, but I had to do it.
But fate was with me, and I'm able to call you today. I'm calling to say, first off, thank you. I've been on the meditation for a year, and it has transformed my life. It saved my life.
You know how it's done that now, don't you? It's not the words. It's where it takes you to if you follow it.
And I didn't know where it was going till I got on it, and I just had the faith that it was going somewhere great. And the unfoldment of the experience continues every day.
It will for the rest of your life.
It's amazing. One of my current issues is dealing with friends, because I've noticed that the aspect of our relationships, particularly when I have my own business and I've hired quite a number of friends that to work with, and some particularly long and old relationships, just are not surviving the test of...
Yes, that's something you're going to have to discuss. How long you had your own business?
Almost 20 years now.
And it's just recently you're starting hiring people that you've known for a long time?
No, I've had one or two close friends that have, one gentleman in particular since college days. And that relationship just evaporated because I couldn't take what was happening to me, the manipulation.
Well, you see, what you're beginning to understand that friends aren't always friends, and that your old life, you would have the kind of friends that supported your old life.
Yes.
The illusions you have about yourself. You know, your children have friends, and the drug addict has friends, and you know, Bill Clinton has friends. and he's a friend to everyone, but he supports their faults and helps them keep them blind to their faults, as your friends nurtured you, and they didn't see anything wrong with you, and you didn't see anything wrong with them. But there was something wrong. And now that you are above that and don't need that false security they gave you, you begin to see that you have no more use for them in that sense. And they have any more use for you either.
No, but then they're quite angry about it too.
Yeah, they can't, because they had a you were exposing them to themselves. You're exposing them for what they are, as you're free from what they are. You see, from their services.
Well, Roy, one of the difficulties in confronting these relationships is not to get wrapped up in anger,
right?
But also to just step aside from the need of that relationship, if you will, or
be more businesslike when it comes to your hiring people. Make sure that you're not too friendly with get the approval of your employees. Otherwise, they start to rise and start manipulating you by nature.
Yes,
you do see that, don't you? They see that as a weakness. They see that you have a need and that you're not really a leader. Follow that?
I do, and there's a real...
You turn them into a wife.
Yeah.
You know, or a mother, David says.
And I have one of those already, and that's quite enough. Thank you.
You say, so you don't want to have an emotional bonding with your employers, but treat them with love and kindness. But don't show any emotional need for them.
Well, also not coming off as being arrogant, but being truthful
will drive the bad ones away, because they can't manipulate you. The ones that pretend to be what they're not.
Right.
See, you'll go through your share of those. It'll take a little while for you to adjust, because there are lots of treacherous people who pretend to be your friends and stroke you, and even get through the natural defense of awareness.
Would you understand if I said it's caused a tremendous amount of soul searching in this process?
Of course it does. It causes a great deal of pain, because as you start to become conscious, you start to make people conscious of themselves. You make them conscious of the fact that you don't need them anymore.
Does that help them?
Well, you kept them asleep too. Yeah. As they keep you asleep, they are able to sort of pick your pockets and to get certain advantages. Yeah. Do you understand that?
I do.
You see,
I do. So it did work both ways. I came to see that, and I wasn't very proud of it.
The man-woman relationship is exactly the same. It's also very treacherous. You know, a woman will provide a man with a sense of security, and he feels like he's okay. But at the same time, his substance is being taken, and his authority is being diluted, and she is gaining ascendancy in the relationship. And we all do it to each other. Men can play that role with women. Men can also in your workplace can also play the role of mother, and support your ego and make you feel comfortable. But slowly but surely, you lose your business, you lose control, and they get to be in control and become unruly, and then they end up betraying you.
I'm afraid of that danger. Yes, I see
it happens all the time. So that's why you have to. You can't be too draconian, but you have to be kind and sensitive and gentle and loving and fair and firm with justice, swift with justice. Make sure that your marriage is the same way. You see what I mean? All right.
Yes, I do.
Gotta go.
All righty. Well, thank you for your time.
You're very
thank
welcome.
you for the meditation, and my best to David as well.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please write to the Foundation of Human Understanding. Remember, this program is funded by you, the listener, and regardless of what you hear commercials here, they're not mine. They belong to the station, and I have to give up time for that, but I pay for this hour. It's very expensive, and if I can't afford it unless I can increase the donations by 30%, all purchases. Thank you very much by writing to the Foundation of Human Understanding, Post Office Box 1009, Grants Pass, Oregon 97528, and call 1-800-877-3227. Website www.fhu.com. This is program number 99220.
Yeah, thanks, Roy. This is a special message for all Caroline listeners who appreciate Roy Masters. You're invited to meet up with like-minded people for discussion, including Y2K preparations. For more information, please telephone from the UK on 01580 or from outside the UK on 0044 580, or write to Box 4, Leicester, Leicester, in England. I'll just repeat those telephone numbers again. That's from the UK, 01580. From outside the UK, that's 0044 580, or write to Box 4, Leicester, 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 in England. You're listening to Caroline Viewpoint, broadcasting on channel 35 of the Astra 1C satellite. That's 10.994 gigahertz, audio 2, 7.38 and 7.56 megahertz. We broadcast every Saturday and Sunday evening on this channel at 9 p.m. UK time. It's fast approaching 10 o'clock and Radio Caroline is now closing down. Good night.